Guys, Skippy here, and welcome to a new Let's Play series on Transport Fever. This is like the main dashboard here for the game. So as you can see on the right hand side, we've got continue, which basically continues the last can't get my words out. The last save game played, which obviously was me learning the ropes and having quite a good time with it, to be fair. You got tutorials.
You've got passengers. The inhabitants of the cities want to go shopping and to work. Well, they might not necessarily want to go to work, but they certainly need someone to get them there. Ensure happy commuters on local and long-distance transport. In this tutorial, you will be transporting your first passengers by bus and train.
There you get a rough idea of the tutorials there. I've already done a couple of them, as you can see, but today we're not going to go into that. We've got a campaign here. Basically, it's small missions. It tells you basically what to do, and you got to complete it as such. Free game, which is basically like an endless scenario as such. You just go around and make obviously as much money as you physically can. Load game, well obviously that's exactly what it says on the tin, along with settings and exit. So what we're going to do, guys, is jump straight into a free game. Let's chuck it on a large scale map. Let's go for a medium terrain. We're going to start the year in 1990. We can go back all the way to 1850 or jump forward to 1950, or we can customize it ourselves. The reason I'm not going all the way back to 1850 is basically because that 50-year time period, primarily it's just horse and cart. All road vehicles are basically horse and cart. You have got steam trains, you do still have trams, but I'm just going to miss that bit out. Let's get straight into trucks. We'll stay in Europe, because that's where I'm from. We'll leave it on an easy difficulty, I think, for now. And obviously you can see we've got a pre-selected map here. We can randomize it if we want, but I think that one will do. So off we go. Okay, we're back. All I'd done there was cut out the loading screen. It does take a couple of minutes to load in, depending on the map. Let's take a quick look at the interface. As you can see down here, pause, sort of normal speed, 2 times speed, 4 times speed. So that obviously reverts to your gameplay. Down here we've also got the date and the year. Along the bottom in the middle here we've got all our construction tools. So if we go right to left, we've got demolish, pretty self-explanatory. Anything you build you can demolish obviously bits of road that currently exist. Terrain button, basically this gives us the option to smooth terrain, raise it, lower it. What have we got here? Trees, we can plant trees, rocks, should we want to. Fences, benches. So essentially with these that we can customize our stations. The lamps doesn't really do anything because it never actually goes night. Next one along, we've got lights obviously for motorways and stuff like that. Danger signs. Never actually looked at these, this is the first time I've looked at these as well. So there we go. So that's that one. Planes, we can't click on it yet because we've not unlocked airports or aeroplanes. Ships. So you've got 2 different types of ships. You've got passenger, which are on now, and obviously docks or a harbour. So literally all you do is, okay, it's not in navigable waters apparently. I think it's got to be connected to a road somehow, which is why that's not working, but purely you just dump it in the water and you set your ferry port. Or you've got cargo, which is basically exactly the same thing, just picks up cargo instead. You've got your road vehicles. Once again you've got the same thing. You've got large depots, small depots and standard stops, and you've got 2 different size depots for trucks, for like freight trucks. And then we've got this button here as well, which is a depot. So you get a standard road depot or like a tram depot. So you can just see the white lines there for like tram lines. Basically the same with trains. You've got 2 stations. You've got like a straight through station or a terminus, which basically is like the end of the line. Trains can't physically go past the buildings here. Works the same. You've got passenger and freight. I was going to say something else then, don't know. When you're selecting obviously your stations, it gives you a number of options down here. Obviously number of tracks, so this goes to how big you want the station. So if we zoom in here a little bit, as you can see, that's a 160 meter 1-track station, but you can go up as far as 8 tracks at 320 meters, and as you can see, just rotate it around a little bit, they're pretty monstrous. I don't personally think we're ever going to use a station that big. You can also change it as well. You look at the bottom, it's got a 2nd street. Without placing it, I can't really move the cursor, but if you look at the top of the station where the building is in the middle, that little road bit there is essentially a street. That's where all your passengers get on and off the train. So if we do a 2nd street, it literally puts one at the top and the bottom. Once again, it's probably not a feature we're actually going to use too much. Your next 2, we've got roads. Simply gives us a whole variety of roads. So you've got these 3 here, which are more for like in towns or in cities, and then we move on to country roads. So all these here are typically country roads. There's a town here, look. These are all primarily like your town, your streets as such. So you've got your streets and you've got roads. The tool here basically upgrades them to have tram lines in between, so you can establish tram runs. For some reason as well, you can set trams to go out of town as well. And the little wand at the end is an upgrade tool. So all your sort of roads here, you can see here, there's nice small roads here. If we were to click on say a medium street, right, it won't let us do them because they're already medium streets. So if we click on the large street, which is a 4-lane street with speeds up to 60k, you can see the difference in the size there. It makes it a lot wider, and that just gives us the option that when traffic starts moving, we can open up the streets. So obviously stuff flows a lot more freely. And it's exactly the same with the train lines. Obviously you don't get quite as many options. You just got your standard track here, and then signals. So obviously if you're running more than one train on the line, you can obviously set like your signals to basically not get anyone to crash as such. Now what we do is we take a quick look around the map. So obviously we are on a large map, as you can see it is rather large, nice sort of waterways going down the middle or straight through the middle, which we're not going to utilise yet because they are very expensive to run. But I do kind of want to stick near it because it may be handy in the future when we start moving out to various cities. Excuse me. Okay, so the city is pretty much self-explanatory, but if we close this down a minute, we'll take a look at the city. If you actually click on the city name, it brings up a chart here, or an overview, sorry, of what the city needs to grow as such. So population, basically what that wants us to do is moving people around, whether it be like local buses or from city to city via trains or buses. And it's also split up into districts. So you've got green, blue and yellow. So green is population, blue is your shopping facilities. And basically what we need to do is try and bring these goods into the relevant districts. And what that causes it to do is the city then to expand. So the population gets higher, therefore you get more the blue district for more jobs and more shopping facilities and more jobs as well. Which then leads me on, if we down here in the bottom right corner, if we click on that, it brings up a whole lot of options. You can also use the 3, 6 and 9 on your number pad to bring those up, which I will end up doing quite a lot. So if we press 9, close this down a minute, this then brings up your basically how the city is divided. So we can see here that all of this road is basically houses, it's your population, same with over here. This here is our shopping, is our sort of shopping facilities, all the blue here, and the yellow is your industries. That's basically where they work. And every city is basically divided up the same way. So we look down here as well. Over here you can see over here. So essentially when we make bus routes we need to make sure that all this is connected up somehow. So sticking with that, the 9 key brings up contour lines. So obviously the closer together the contour lines, the bigger the hill, the same on a standard map. And as you can see, they're also in thicker colours. So the thicker colour, the thicker black lines is basically a even higher step as such. And then if we hit the 3 on the number pad, it brings up our waterways. So all the green area basically is navigatable by boats. So what we need to ensure doing, if we're going to be using boats in the future to transport goods and stuff like that, because they do carry a lot of goods, we need to make sure that any bridges we build across doesn't interrupt this, that it still becomes navigatable waterways. Okay, next thing we got is industries. Industries are basically all these here. So you see all these little things, they're dotted all around the map. And essentially what we need to do is get goods from one to another, possibly to another, then into a city. So if we click on them here, nice little sound effects as well. This here is obviously a stone quarry. It produces stone. Click on it there, It should tell you anyway if you hover over it. Just close it a minute. Yeah, if you hover over it, it tells you it needs stone. So what we need to do essentially is transport stone from there to, let's find the nearest quarry, which looks like down here. Down to here. So if we transport the stone down to here, it then produces construction materials, and then from them construction materials we obviously then ship them into the city, which helps upgrade the construction materials. So it makes your sort of the job side of things bump up a little bit more, and that works the same with everything. As you can also see, it also takes slag, and slag I do believe comes from coal, maybe. I'm not 100% sure on that one, but once again that also then converts into like construction materials. So if you go slightly further along, let's look at this one here. Let the sound effects finish. It takes grain and livestock to produce food, and then when you transport food to the city, you see that upgrades your shopping facilities. Obviously food is something you eat, so shopping is quite fitting. And then we've got this one here. So this one requires all sorts of various materials depending on what you want to make. So for every 2 planks we ship to here, it will produce a tool which goes into your shopping facilities, or 1 piece of steel gets turned into essentially 1 tool as well. That's what the little white lines in between means. So it's 2 of those to 1 of those, or 1 of them to 1 of them. Then if we look at here, this one is machine parts, which obviously goes to upgrade your industries. To make machine parts we need 2 planks and 1 steel, or 1 steel and 1 plastic to make those. So once again it's just shipping various items in to cover that one. So that's basically the basics of the gameplay. What we will do now, guys, though, is get straight into things. If we have a quick look around the map, down here everything's quite central. We got that, we can just build a new road to take it down to here a lot quicker. We've got here, what's this? This is coal, so we can take, it needs coal and iron ore to produce that. I'm quite sure this might be, there we go, look, there's iron ore mine here as well, so we can utilise both of those facilities all within a nice distance. We've got potential, look, for a nice train route or a bus route up to here, even across to here. So basically what I'm looking at, especially for these early days, is enough things close by so we can transport things relatively closely, and they're not too expensive, should we say. It's relatively cost effective, because you have got to watch your finances. Everything you do costs money. Building bus stops or bus stations, it costs you money. Train stations cost you money. I don't believe that roads or train track cost you money. If you do know how to, or you have played the game before and you know the actual answer to that, please guys let me know, but as far as I'm aware it doesn't cost any money. So yeah, I think what we do is we start down here in Hailsham, I think that's how you pronounce it. So what we do is we'll kick straight off by building some roads. What we're going to do basically is build some roads that link some of the city up together. One, that makes our bus route a lot easier, and 2, we sort of force the city then to expand how we want them to expand in the future. So as you can see, when you get near the end of a road, the little like the cursor snaps on to the end of the road. All we do is hold left click, drag it. If we're happy with it, click the tick. I'm only building small roads for now, as they can be upgraded at a later date, so it's not terribly important at the moment. Okay, if we hit the 9 key and we'll bring up the layout of the city, what we do is we're going to start off building our bus stop. So all we do, if we place a bus stop in the city, as you can see, half the places go like a white colour. What that is that's the catchment area for this bus, or this bus stop. So all this stuff here that turns white will be picked up by this bus. So what we do is put a stop there and a stop there. We'll do the same over here. Let's go. Okay, from there we can go down here. Let's go right in the middle of this road here. Okay, I don't think that's going to work too well, is that? Right, what we'll do is we'll place one in the centre, out here, and if we demolish them quickly with our bus stop, if we put them at the end of the roads, do that one there, we'll place that one, he's fine to stay there, and we'll place one more at the top of the road. We don't need that there, but I'm just sort of thinking for expansion, that stop might not cover anything that gets built here. Okay, so now what we need to do is create the line. So if we click down here, click new line, let's close that, and then we need to add our stations. So from here, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it brings a nice little loop up here. I can't even think, if we click that a minute, I can't remember what it was called. Hailsham. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, phone's ringing. Make them wait. Still mess that up. That's the one we want. Okay, delete that. Bus. What we can also do, hit enter. If you don't hit enter, it doesn't change. What we do as well is we change the colour. I think our buses were put in that sort of dirty yellow colour. Okay, so that's our first route created. What we now need to do is build a depot. So we keep it as just a standard bus depot for now. Plenty of room in the city. If we press the M and N key, as you can see, it sort of spins the depot, so we can align it up much better to how we want it. There we go, 11.4k. Okay, once we place the depot, we'll click on it. Buy road vehicles, passengers. So as you can see, you've got your old-fashioned stagecoach here, little horse and cart. And on the right hand side it gives you all the details, how much it's going to cost, the date it will be built, so after 1907 we won't be able to purchase them anymore, carries 4 people, passengers, 15 kilometers per hour top speed, the weight, blah 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 blah. Most important one to look at though is the running costs. Running cost is 2.29k a year, and it will last for 15 years. They all need replacing over time. But what we do is we get these ones, it's slightly higher running cost, but it takes more passengers, it goes slightly quicker, and it's even slightly quicker than this one. No, it's not, that's even quicker, but a lot more running cost. What we do, I think, click on here as well, we can change the colour. If we buy 5 of those for now, so we've got our 5 in the garage here, close that, set to line, and we want to go on to Hailsham bus. Okay, if we click play now to start the time up, see the bus is coming out of the depot here. If you click on the bus, it brings up its details at the moment. So you've got an overview of where it is, the route it's on, the number of passengers it's carrying compared to the number it can. So it can take 5 passengers, but it hasn't got any. There's its current speed, and that's the stop it's going to. We can change its line it's on now if we want, but obviously we don't want to. From there we can send it back to the depot, or that one we can spin it round. You can then look at its details. You can look at how old it is, how much money it's making, and the same with there. You can actually see like what its running cost is compared to its income, so you can actually check that it's making money. Another thing we can do, if we actually click on them, let's drag that into the middle, click the little camera on the screen, you go first person into your bus or train or whatever it is. So in the right hand corner you've got your speed, where it's heading for, what the line is you're travelling on. That just gives you a nice look at the cities then as well. And then the single click closes that one out. Okay, so that would take a couple of minutes for that to kick in with passengers. What we'll see eventually is little sort of people stood next to the bus stop, and that's essentially people waiting. Okay, what we're going to crack on do now though is I think we're going to utilise this stone quarry. We'll start transporting stone from there to there, and then we'll bring it from there back to the city. So essentially what we need to do is, there's nothing connecting them by road at all, so we need to essentially build our own road. So for that, press the 6 key and we'll have a look at the contour lines. I think we're keeping them at 40 mph country roads. Any vehicles we've got at the moment won't go any quicker than that. Important thing to remember though is these industries actually expand over time. So when you're building roads and like terminals, like cargo terminals, is to make sure you've got space for that to expand afterwards. So what we do is from here we'll go out like that slightly, and then we'll loop around. So you can see it changing the contours for the hill. Okay, so from there we know that this here is a very steep hill. So what we're going to try and do is bring it down here where it's not quite as steep, and then we'll bring it down to like the river, I suppose we can be, when it's not the sea. So okay, that would do like that. If you build it in smaller sections as well, you'll find that it doesn't cost as much. So if we look at doing that, that's gone up to nearly 500k. We're building it in small sections, so that's only 5k for that. So if you had every piece as 5k, that's a lot less money. Now it's starting to come up a little bit because it's having to alter the terrain to fit our road in. We'll take it down to about here, I think. Very costly bit of road, but I think we will generate the money we need back from transporting the goods. I'm going to put that one to there because obviously we need to connect a road from there to our first sort of town or city there as well. So let's come down here a little bit more. Very windy road here, look. Okay, That'll do there for now. It's not the best looking road in the world, but it will definitely get the job done for what we want it for. So once again, we click on transport, we'll click on passengers this time, passengers and cargo this time, and all we want here is a small depot. Basically this one's got 2 lanes in it, so essentially it will take sort of 2 different routes quite nicely without it getting sort of conflicted. And what we want looking for is when we connect it onto the road, the said industry, so this here, flashes white, and that basically means that we're in the right catchment area for it. Let's try and get it so we can bring the price down a bit. There we go, so we got that one there. And we want one down here as well. This one here though, I'm going to build a larger one, because potentially we're going to have 2 different materials coming in and obviously 1 lot coming out. Let's go more about here. Still in catchment. I think what we'll also do is we'll build our depot down here as well. Standard car depot or vehicle depot. Okay, once we've done that, click on the route. We'll change the colour to black. What we do is we use black for all of our sort of first stage materials as such. So what we do is we click here, click to here, and then we'll name it as well. So we'll call where is it? It's Helsham Stone Quarry, so we'll call it Helsham Stone. Helsham Stone. Okay, let's click on our depot down here. Click on freight this time. Okay, so have a look. It's 25 miles per hour, 5k. That's slightly quicker. Alright, it does cost a little bit more, but that'd be alright. Colour that one black as well. And then we'll purchase 10 of them too. Set all to line, and then we'll want to go onto that line there. Okay, what we have to wait for as well is this here won't actually send any stone over to our depot yet, simply because if you look here, there's no line usage yet. That will pick up. Let's get rid of the contour lines. That will pick up quite soon. What we do for now is to speed up time, keep an eye on it. That should change before hopefully the first trucks get back over here. New vehicle unlocked, new trams unlocked. Okay. There we go. Line usage, yes. So what we need to do is try and keep that production up as high as possible until it nearly hits its limit, and that will upgrade itself then as well. But as we can see, look, they're starting to transfer stone over. So at the moment we've got 6 stone there ready and waiting. As soon as we start shipping that, we'll then look at putting more trucks on the line. But more importantly, what we need to do at the moment is get this construction materials from here over to here, because that essentially isn't doing nothing. We're taking all this stone down and doing nothing with it. So what we do, once again, small country roads. Ooh, that was a very expensive bit of road there. Let's chuck our contour lines on again. Flattens off a little bit here. At least it goes quite flat here now. No, automatically put a tunnel in there. If I automatically puts tunnels in there, but that's very, very expensive. I don't really want to waste that kind of money yet. I wish it would just build it straight, not windy. Ooh. It's starting to straighten up now. Nice flat ground. Connect it onto the city. Okay, so we connected that to the city. Now look, you can already see that the city's expanded. It's added all these roads in to where we've sort of connected up and is now building houses. But what we need to look at doing is, because we are, let's get rid of that, bringing in construction materials, we need to keep it as close to like the yellow sort of district as possible. So if we build a let's build a large freight terminal. And here what we need to do is, okay, that's going to destroy some houses. How about over this side? No, that's going to take out our depot. Okay, that picks up quite a good chunk there. That gets all of it here. I think we'll build that there because it collects up all of the job sort of area. So put that there. Let's get a new route. Let's use this one so we can get rid of it. What we'll do is we'll colour this one in a, let's go for a light grey, so we know that that's like a final stage, if you like. We want it to go there to there. Just remembered I didn't plug my computer in. There we go. Yes, you can all see I've just plugged it in now. Okay, we're going from there to there. We want to change the name to Hailsham. Let's call it construction materials. Okay, once then let's chuck, let's do 10 again, I think. So colour them in light grey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Set to line, Elsham combat. Okay, so in a minute that will establish a line use and then start producing stuff into the depot and then back into the city. If we zoom in, that we see that we've got queues building up here waiting for them to get in. There we go, look. Lines connected. Now it's just chucked a load of stuff here to pick up. But what we want to have a look at more importantly is production here is up to 90. They're going to upgrade it in 5 months. We've also got quite a lot of stone there waiting. So I think what we're going to do is buy 10 more. Change that to black. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Close all these. Set all those on to the stone run. And that then should even force the quarry to chuck out more products then as well. Right, so if we look at our finances here, see, because we've been building so much stuff, we're losing money at the moment every year. We've already got a 9 grand load, and that's what we start off with from the word go. But over time that will pick up. So if we click the info tab here, it gives you a whole different sort of variety of information. Each vehicle, so we can actually see what vehicle is making what money. So far our first lot of stone trucks are making money, nothing else is. But a better way to see that, to actually look at the lines. If we click this one here, or you can press 4 on your number pad, it brings up your lines. So we can see that our stone run here is nearly running at capacity. It's got a 39-second frequency, and so far it's making about 30k. But everything else is sort of losing money. Obviously this one's not going to make too much money at the minute because we've only just sort of established the route, and the buses will pick up as obviously the town or the city grows, which to be fair it is quite nicely. There's people waiting at this stop here. We've got 2 waiting at the stop there. So right, let's slow time back down now. Okay, how are we doing over here? It's just upgraded now. Got 200 limit. The stone over here. Still got quite a lot waiting. I don't think all those all the trucks we just put on have got up there yet. So we'll leave that to go on its own accord for a little while, and we'll see if that makes any difference to that. We may need to look at chucking more lorries on it. Right, but I think guys, for this one, for a first look here on a new series of Transport Fever, I think we'll leave this one here, guys. So if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to smash that like button. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe as well. If you're already subscribed or you're not, click that little bell next to like the subscribe button, and that will turn up post notifications, which will enable you obviously to get posts every time I upload. So yes guys, if you enjoyed it, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and until the next time guys, take care, and I will see you all in the next video.